Good morning and welcome to another beautiful journey in the world of sport right here on Dominion Television. This is Dominion Sport. I am Paul Abe Toluwadimi, and this beautiful morning we'll be talking about sport and we'll be looking straight into the camp of the Flying Eagles as they bow out of the competition right there in Chile. Also, we'll be taking a story from the MPFL, the fixtures for the rescheduled game right there. Rangers International picking up a victory, and also Kano Pillars, Pele himself, Rabi Ali, getting a goal for Kano Pillars. All this and more on the show. Also, let me inform you that we'll be taking a dive straight into the camp of Manchester United. As Sir Jim Ratcliffe said Ruben Amorim would finish his tenure with 3 years, and says the project is still very much ongoing. All this and more on the show. I have the expert analyst himself, Samson Balogun, ready to break down everything just for you, and also Fola Yegbe, the woman that talks sport on the show. Good morning to you, Samson. How are you feeling this wonderful morning?
Well, I'm feeling really great. Thank you.
Are you actually feeling great? Well, I would want to believe you're feeling great, because yesterday you did not give so much, hope to the Flying Eagles of Nigeria.
The little hope I gave to the viewers out there was because of patriotism. We all knew where it was going to end.
Yeah, great.
Definitely. See, there's no point beating around the bush. You know, the team was whack.
I agree.
Absolutely nothing in that team.
Nothing.
And the technical inputs wasn't that great.
Wasted
so we all knew where it was going to head.
Yeah,
so
agree.
that's us by the side. I don't want to talk too much.
Okay,
about
that's
it.
great to people.
Well, then we say thank you for joining us on the show this morning. And there's a lot to unpack on this show. Not necessarily the under-20 team, but there's so many things to talk about. So thank you for joining us. Sit back, relax. Let's bring you sports at its best.
Beautiful. We're going to bring the sport as its best, but quick one. Now, the problem now is the men football in Nigeria, they're not impressive. We're going to talk about that on the show, but let's listen to Fola. Fola, good morning to you. How are you feeling this morning?
Good morning. Good morning, both of you.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Let's move on.
Let's move on, please.
Let's move on. All right. Let's take the stories from the local front. The MPFL rescheduled game yesterday. Kano Pillars finally picking up a victory, but we're going to start with Rangers International. They defeated Abia Warriors 2-0 yesterday. The Kano Pillars also defeating Kwara United. The fixtures that you have it on the screen. Samson Balogun, fantastic victory for Fidelis Ilechukwu side. He has another appointment with the Super Eagles, but they were able to pick up the victory, on their home front right here.
Around.
Yeah, it was not around.
The
game ended 2-0 for you.
You see, it's as we highlighted yesterday, we knew it was going to happen that way. And, it's just a matter of time before they started picking up necessary points. And just like they did, most of the teams that you find on the mid-table, some at the bottom of the log, some of them are having outstanding matches, which, if they win, will propel them to, better places on the Premier League table. So it's just a matter of time before that starts happening. But then, if you look at how Rangers set up yesterday, they knew what they wanted. They started from the word go, from the blast of the whistle. They kept searching and searching for the goals. They were able to keep a clean sheet, and then it's something really a thing of joy for them as we speak. Don't forget that Abia Warriors is no pushover this season. One of the best teams in the Premier League so far this season. Abia Warriors belong in the top 4. So it's for me, I think Rangers should be given the credit they deserve. Aside from playing at home, where people think, once you play at home in the MPFL, yes, you automatically.
That's actually a derby, Oriental derby.
Yes, so people think, because you play at home, you definitely are going to get, the maximum 3 points. That's how they think of the MPFL. But hey, these people are even playing almost on, the same city. So it's really a great thing for them. Now they have the bragging rights over Abia Warriors. And most definitely, if you look at the log now, they have been propelled to, higher spots, and that seals it for them. Coming to the next set of games in the league, I think they are gathering momentum now. And we know Fidelis Ilechukwu as a coach that does not back down.
I agree with
Before
that.
the Monsters won the league, it was Rangers. And, under Coach Fidelis Ilechukwu. So continuity is one thing that I trust him for. And I know that when he comes back, most definitely there are a lot of things to put in place.
All right. For you, for the Rangers are picking up a victory. How did you see that one panel for them? 2-0 against Abia Warriors, like Samson said, who also on from this season.
Yeah. Honestly, I wasn't surprised. But what's it called? I was surprised also because the margin was, for me, it was too much. Maybe one should have been enough. Because, as we said, Abia Warriors have been in form this season.
Yeah, agree.
Their defense was found wanting. And what's it called? Well, we hope for the best for Abia Warriors in their next fixture.
All right, yes, the goals came in the first half. Wodu and also Obaje getting the goal in the 14th minute and also the 33rd minute of the first half. The game ended 2-0 in favor of Rangers International. They called it the Oriental Derby rescheduled game round 5. Rangers International picking up all 3 points on their own turf. Moving away from that, let's talk Kano Pillars against Kwara United. Yes, they call him Pele. Rabiu Ali getting the goal right there for Kano Pillars. Samson Balogun, I'm sure yesterday you spoke about how much this game must mean to Kano Pillars, and they were able to get out the victory. All 3 points, yes, either by hook or by crook. Fantastic goal from Rabiu Ali to give Kano Pillars all 3 points.
You see, no matter how slim the margin is, a victory is a victory, especially when, gives you a leverage over other teams. And, getting all 3 points against Kwara United is a big one for Kano Pillars. Yesterday, I spoke about the fact that the veteran players, the biggest players in the team stepping up and, of course, helping the team. And Rabiu Ali belongs in that category. While you are talking about Rangers, you spoke about Obaje. Godwin Obaje has been around for over 10 years in the NPFL. So experience counts. So you can buy that. Yes, you can be skillful. You can be a very good player. But, when it comes to experience, you don't buy that. So that's one thing that came to play yesterday. Kano Pillars, yes, they were able to grind out all 3 points against Kwara United, who are visibly struggling. But then one thing that stood out was the fact that, the imprint of the new coach, the coach who is currently in charge right now, is already showing on Kwara United. Otherwise, it should have been more than that. So I want to believe that Kwara United going forward might be able to get things, turn things around. When players don't play for you or there are other technical issues you are facing in the team. If you look at that Kwara United team, you see old players like Wasiu Jimo still in the team. And he's been around, former Shooting Stars player. He's been around for a long time. So it's something, yes, if he still, grinds out, gets the goals for them, well, fantastic. But if he doesn't, I mean, nobody stays too long when you are not really bringing what you are meant to bring to the table. But then, if you look at Rabiu Ali, Pele, over and over again, this guy has spent, if not about 20 years in the NPFL. He's been around a long time. He's seen it, he's done it, and then, he stood by Kano Pillars, even when they thought he was going to leave. Some people thought he was going to travel abroad, and they said, look, this is where I was born, this is where I'm going to finish my career. And over 40 years now, he's about 45 years now, and he's doing fantastically well for the team. And he's a regular in the team. And it's not just about, because he's Pele, it's Rabiu Ali that is making him get it. He's there. When there's a free kick, he's delivering. When there's a penalty, he's there. And when his experience comes to play, when it comes to delivery, in terms of passes and of course coordinating the team on the field, he's never found one. Rabiu Ali for Kano Pillars is just like having another coach in the team, and he's in the starting 11. So that's what this means for the team. And imagine having Rabiu Ali in your starting 11, having a name from Ahmed Musa in the same team. That brings you have a leverage over some other teams in the league. So I want to believe that will count. Eventually going ahead in the league. They are now on 7 points, I think. That takes them away from the relegation battle, and then maybe from there they can start to build something.
Now, let's look at the log table after the rescheduled game so that we can just talk about that. Let's have the log table displayed. Right now, Samson Balogun, just like you said, it's looking already too good for Kano Pillars at this point in time, because they already offer the relegation battle at this point in time. And remember, you said, every win counts in the Nigerian Premier League, because every win you get takes you off and it takes you up also. There you have it. Kano Pillars are now sitting 16th on the log table, and also Rangers International are now sitting 5th on the log table with 11 points. Now it's looking all interesting at this point in time, because Remo Stars, they still have a game to play, so most likely you'll see a certain Shooting Stars still come down off the pedal, off the table. And also, it's going to be a big battle. You know, so quick one. I was speaking with David yesterday. I was saying, Nasarawa United, how far can they go this season? And, you know, he made a statement saying, Eyimba, Rivers United, and, you know, Remo Stars are still going to put up a fight. Do you agree with that?
Yes, they will. They will, most definitely.
So, for you, Nasarawa cannot, you know, still put up a fight?
No, that's not my point. You know, you see, when you want to kill a snake and you have actually cut off the head, the snake will not just die easily. It will put off a fight. So what will happen to the defending champions, Remo Stars? What will happen to champions of the last 2 seasons, Rangers International? What will happen to Rivers United, Eyimba Football Club of Aba that has won the league almost, you know? All of the
stakeholders in the league. I agree with that.
Now, no, but none of them, even including Shooting Stars, would want to go down and not put up a fight. Now, as it stands, Shooting Stars now has 3 victories on the bounce. They are traveling to Kano at the Sonny Abacha Stadium to see if they can actually get points off Kano Pillars, which is possible.
It's possible.
Now, if you look at the situation of things, one thing that happens in the league in this situation when majority of the teams did not start really well is that you see one team from nowhere, you know, starts pulling off, you know, some stuff. There was a time Bayern Munich was dominating back-to-back in the German Bundesliga, and then a certain Borussia Dortmund came and they won the league. And then Bayern Munich realized, oh, this is what's going to happen. One thing they did was go to that team and harvest their best players. That's what they do in the German Bundesliga. They weaken the opposition teams. So if that happens, and I've not really been seeing that happening in the NPFL. Most times, it's either these players travel abroad or they no longer have a contract, and they played in the winning team. So what is happening? So for Nasarawa United, they will try as much as possible to give enough points. One thing that I'm sure of is that they are not going to relegate this season, 100%. The worst that will happen to Nasarawa United is to finish at the mid-table, which is a fine finish for them.
I agree.
Judging by what happened last season compared to this season. Now, that's an improvement on their performance.
I agree.
Now, if they can now go a notch further by maintaining this consistency, winning by at least every other game day, that puts them in the first 4 on the log. I mean, qualifying for the continents, and that's why, let me just digress a little bit. That's why I have a problem with the NPFL. There's no consistency in who plays on the continent every season.
I agree.
So the experience does not count. You play this season, you are not playing the next season, and then after 3 years, you are coming back. You are more or less like a newbie. But for Chelsea, they played last season, they are playing this season, the next season. If they don't qualify the 4th season, when they come back, they are still in the frame. For Manchester United, for 2-3 seasons, they have not qualified just because of the problem. But there was a time they were consistent. For 6, 7, 8 seasons, they were playing the UEFA Champions League. And that's counted when it was time for them to win the Champions League.
I agree.
Because they've been there. They've been there consistently. They have maintained the same set of players, and they gathered the experience over time to be able to conquer Europe. But then, do we have that here?
I agree with that.
What happened with Eyimba when Eyimba won that was because Eyimba was going consistently. And when the time came for Eyimba to win, they did.
Yeah, because they understood the pattern already.
Now, Shooting Stars also has an history on the continent. They were going there consistently, and then there was a time where they did so well. So I've not been seeing that consistency. Take, for example, Kwara United out of nowhere played the CAF Confederation Cup. They've been knocked out just in the first game of the preliminary round. Now they are gone. Maybe after 5 years they'll
come back again.
Through what means, I don't know. For Eyimba, they are struggling. They are doing everything humanly possible to make sure that they qualify. This season they are not there, but then by the next season they might be in the Champions League. But the level of consistency is there. At least every other season they play on the continent. For Abia Warriors, God knows how long they have been, at the continent. They are vying so well to be there. For Rangers, yes, they come in and out, and their consistency is not so dry. So you would say, if you are not here this season,
maybe they'll be there next season.
But it is too unpredictable. I mean, the NPFL. Yes, it is fine for the league to be unpredictable, but sometimes you just feel like, what exactly is going on? A team like Kano Pillars is on 16th on the log. Yes, you can compare that to Manchester United and the APL. Anyway.
Why are you always mentioning it? I don't get.
But the challenge I have is that going forward, we can't really say who are the small teams in the NPFL and who are the big teams. Yes, the only thing we have, the benchmark we have now is the newly promoted teams, which is Kun Khalifa, Barao, and Wiki Tourist that has refused to be wicked. Wiki Tourist is on 8 points.
Yeah, then 8
and
points.
Just one man win will take Wiki Tourist to how many points? Maybe to 7 or 6 on the log.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
so it's one win. See, any point you drop in the NPFL is a challenge to you. I mean, you might pay dearly for it until the end of the season. That's why teams like Enyimba, they try as much as possible. They win at home and then grind the result, maybe a draw. And then sometimes when victory comes, they take it. Because they know that every point counts. Just like in any league, but it is so different here. Because 1 point means that you are probably... See, what is happening here is, it will come stages where you might be on 10th on the log. And then when you lose a game, you go to the relegation zone. So it will be so fast. So my issue with Nasarawa United, as I said earlier, is that they might be able to maintain a level of consistency. But will they be able to do that until the end of the season? I do not know. But we might see another Leicester City just coming out of the blues and winning the league.
All right, let's move away from...
it's just too early.
It's just too early. I would actually say that too. Maybe it's just too early. And, we're going to move away from that story from the NPFL. But trust us, every day on the show, we'll be giving you more updates coming through from the local front right there. And I'm sure you'll be supporting your team this season from the NPFL. Let's take more stories. And this is coming through from the Under-20 World Cup in Chile, where double blow for Africa as Nigeria and South Africa exit the FIFA Under-20 World Cup in round of 16. Now, this is funny because on Friday, it's going to be another battle again with Nigeria and South Africa. But right now, the Under-20 are both out of the Under-20 World Cup in Chile. There you have the result on the screen. It's a disappointing night for African football at the FIFA Under-20 World Cup in Chile, as both Nigeria and South Africa were eliminated in the round of 16 on Wednesday. Flying Eagles grounded by ruthless Argentina. Nigeria Flying Eagles were handed a humbling 4-0 defeat by Argentina at the Estadio near Conao in Santiago. The result not only ends Nigerian campaign but also served as a measure of revenge for the South Americans who were defeated 2-0 by Nigeria in the last meeting at this level. Argentina wasted no time ascertaining dominance with Elijah Sacco opening the scoring in just the second minute of that game. And also in the fourth goal of the tournament, midfielder Carazo extended the lead with a solo effort before ending a second in the 53rd minute of an assist by Mito. Also Mito getting a goal also in the 60th minute for Argentina. Nigeria hopes of coming back were dashed by Villarreal, denied the penalty appeal in the 39th minute. Despite registering more attempts, 14 shots on target to Argentina's 10. The Flying Eagles were wasteful in front of goal, managing only 2 shots on target. This also failed to capitalize 8 corner kicks compared to Argentina's 3. So now we are out of the competition, but it looks like we had the fair share of the game. But we could not just, bury our chances. And the only chance we had was just 2 shots on target. So, out of 15, just 2 shots on target. And it's a worry at this point in time. Before I allow Fola to speak and also Samson, these are the results on the screen. Argentina 4, the Flying Eagles of Nigeria 0. Also Colombia defeating South Africa 3-1. Yeah. Also Norway getting a victory against Paraguay at the end of the extra time. Also, we have France also picking up a victory against Japan. Let's speak about the Flying Eagles of Nigeria, Samson. We're out of the competition. I know it's sad for football and it's sad for Nigeria, but what's the next step going forward for the boys and also Coach Aliyu Zubairu's side?
You see, before I go into what's next, I want to remember you of 2 things I said before this game on Tuesday. I told you that if they want to stand any chance of getting past Argentina, they should contain Argentina for at least 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, you said so.
And then after that, they can start to, play and see how exactly they want to approach that game.
I'm sorry that didn't happen.
Unfortunately, they could not do it. Second minute, they conceded. They could not even wait for 10 minutes. I mean, if they had to defend for their lives, that's what would have happened. That is wrong. 2, I told you about their wastefulness in front of goal. Yeah. That if they want to defeat Argentina, you must learn how to convert even half chances, not to talk of open nets. So they saw so many chances, created so many chances, could not convert them. And those two things came to pass. So I just wanted to go to that area.
Yeah.
So you mentioned about going forward. There's no going forward for any team that has failed. I mean, that's where this ends. Every player in that team should just go and find a professional team to play for and continue their careers. If you look at that team, I do not see any Super Eagles material in that team the way they played. And I unfortunately, it's not just me that will be saying it. There are so many people out there who will be watching and then say, look, there is no Super Eagles material in this team. Unfortunately, it shouldn't have been so if we did our selection properly.
I agree.
Unfortunately, it shouldn't have been so if the coach got it right from the first place. I mean, what were the attacking trainers? What were they doing when you don't even know how to put these players through and how to convert their chances? How do you get 14